Sheila Chandra's Indipop Retrospective is a collection of 11 of her best-loved Indipop tracks, and one previously unreleased track, Crescent Silver Scythe. When it was first released, Sheila asked John Diliberto if he'd write the CD sleeve notes. John's radio programme, Echoes, is syndicated across America to 150 public radio stations, and it's a long-standing and much-respected programme. John's endorsement is very influential, and he was one of the first DJs in America in 1993 to get behind Sheila's real-world albums. So big thanks go out to John for that. I'll quote John's sleeve notes here. It's an instrument that is seductive and serene, a voice of rapture tempered by intellect. Sheila Chandra creates a music that touches the spirit, that speaks to a primal source within us. The first two tracks on the Indipop Retrospective are Lamenta McCrimmon and One, which are taken from Roots and Wings, Sheila's fifth solo album. It was her sixth, seventh and eighth and ninth solo albums for Peter Gabriel's Real World in the 1990s that found such success in America. And world music at the time was going through a boom, and that seemed to remind her newly found American fans and media, and it kind of reminded them of her five 1980s solo albums on Indipop. Quiet 3 and Quiet 9 represent the Quiet album on the retrospective, and John Diliberto commented, "The results are hypnotic in their rhythmic structures and extravagant in their melodic flights, like cascading arabesques of sound." So poetic. So the new track, in fact, it was like an unfinished master that Sheila felt was good enough to put on the album. And it's called Crescent Silver Scythe, and the lyric is, "On a crescent silver scythe, I live my secret life, my darkness, my destruction, and my light. Spinning through the ages, spiraled in the cloth of midnight, I walk the blade, marvelling at my feet." Those are lyrics by Sheila, as you might imagine. And, well, you know, from the first recordings that Sheila made for Indipop in 1981 with the Monsoon 4-track EP to this retrospective release 22 years later, you'd be able to say that Sheila certainly has walked the blade. And there's a quote from Johnny Black from Q magazine from around that era that says, "A woman working out on the edge of the possible." And I agree.